Hi, it's Mary Beth. Almost live. Okay, I have an idea. And do you ever get something in your head that you just cannot get out of your head? Well, that's how this is. I did a project. It was probably a couple years ago. I used some Jen Evans stencils, Jennifer Evans, one of our designers, and I used gold and I used like a deep maroon, and I just loved it. And I'm not sure what I did with it. Okay, how ignorant is that? Like, I don't even think I ever showed it in public. So now Jennifer has some new stencils that are out that I love, and they just reminded me of what I had done before, and I have an idea. So let's flip the camera and we'll see if we can make this work. This is just a piece of text weight black paper, and I'm gonna put the stencil down here, and I'm gonna do something I don't often do, and that is I'm gonna mark the corners to like so-called register it if if I need to put it back in place, because I'm not sure how this is gonna play out. So I'm just marking my corners with pencil, and then if I need to put this back in place, I'll just put the stencil right between those corners, okay? So the first thing I want to do is, I do know this is my Daniel Smith gesso, acrylic gesso, iridescent gold. There are no subs for this paint. It is the bomb. I'm gonna put some of the gold gesso down on the background, just here and there. I don't necessarily want a solid coat of it because I want the depth of the black to still come through a little bit. So I'm varying the thickness on purpose, okay? On purpose, I'm varying the thickness and allowing it to be a little textured, a textured look. I am really just experimenting. I have not done this before. I don't know what it's going to look like, but anyway. I want to pull back some so that we can still see a little bit of that black coming through. And then I'm going to just let this dry. It's pretty much dry now, but I've got this bit right here that's thick, and right here. So what I'm going to do is use a dry paper towel and try to wipe off the super thick areas. Oh yeah, I like exactly what happened there. That's the kind of thing I was looking for. So I realize this is probably hard for you guys to see, but I'm going to put the stencil back down. In spite of all my best intentions, it doesn't really matter, the registration, but I almost painted over my pencil. This is what a classic Mary Beth move, yeah? All right, so here's what I had in mind. I really want to make this flower here, and I want to use the, I want to use more embossing powder because I'm flipping obsessed with it. I just can't get enough of it. And I just got Tim Holtz's new batch of these glazes. So I'm going to use the Distress Dabber, and I'm going to dab it on the stencil components, remove the stencil, and then I'm going to just see what color this is. Chipped Sapphire. So that would be a bluish, a deep blue, I think. I think I'm going to just stick with mahogany for the moment. I don't know if it's coming out. Yes, I think it is now. I've got to just get it going. You know what? I'm going to run and get just a regular stamp pad. I think this might have dried up, the dabber. All right, I've got my stamp pad back. It's the Versamark watermark stamp pad. It's just basically clear. I'm going to try to get it around where I want it. We'll see how this goes. Since I'm going to cut it out, though, I'm not horribly worried about it. I would like to get these little bits in there covered this, so we'll see. And this is one of those things, it's going to be really difficult to know if I've achieved or not until I actually emboss it. So, all right, this is the mahogany color, which I just love. It's that kind of that deep maroon. Wish I had a car this color. Wouldn't it be pretty as a car? I do love my car, but this would be really pretty. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, get back down there, get back down there. Now I did some of those edges and that looks pretty nice too, huh? Yes. All right, so I have a little bit though here in some of the lines where I didn't really want it. So I'm gonna just use a brush and try to get those to drop down. You know what? I think I'll just go ahead and do this too, because why not? All right, I'm just gonna leave it like this. Actually, I kind of like that abstracted look. And I need to plug in my heat gun, and then I'm gonna turn the filming off while I'm heating this because it's just gonna be way too loud. All right, so I have it embossed now, and goodness gracious, does that color look pretty, pretty, pretty. What I would like to do is I'm gonna first I'm gonna put my embossing powder back in its container, and then, you know, I think I am going to try that sapphire because I do like the idea of it and the depth of that color. I want to try to, let's see what we're doing here. Is that it? Yeah, it's easier said than done replacing the stencil where it went. Okay, so here is where it went. And I was thinking about just doing that thing where you bump it a little bit. But then if I did that, I don't want to do the whole thing in that sapphire. I'm puzzled. I just want to add a few areas of more depth. I'm going to try using a sponge on top of the embossing ink and see how this goes. Just a little bit here and there. I don't know how this is going to come out. We shall see. All right. If worst comes to worst, I can always go back and add more of the mahogany. Ooh, that is a pretty color though. Oh, wow. And it's really grabbing in a lot of places on the, probably it's grabbing the embossed areas. I don't know, but oh my. This could be a very, very happy accident though, because I sort of like how that looks. I mean, not sort of, I really like how that looks. All right, I'm gonna turn my machine on. And I love how this added such depth to those areas. Wow. And I mean, abstracted flower looks. Oh my goodness, I'm just all over the idea of that. I love it. So, am I gonna push the limit? I'm thinking about perhaps adding something like this pumice stone, maybe adding a few more. I can't help myself, right? Yeah, you know how I am. Yep. All right, so this is where we had it. Let's move it the other way maybe. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more. Not a ton. And see how this pumice stone looks. We will see. I'm going to try not to add as much because of how it grabbed the last time, you know. It looks pretty cool just without it even being dry. And I kind of like what's going on in these areas where, you know, where I have this, I was going to say overspray, but it's not spray, but I think you still know what I'm talking about, where I exceeded the boundaries of the stencil. Now I've exceeded the boundaries of my coffee filter. Oh my goodness. Here we go. I'm going to emboss. Well, that actually is pretty cool. It is so glossy and so awesome. I was planning on cutting it out, but I don't really think that that's what I want to do right now. I think that I like where it is, and I think what I might be more inclined to do is just collage the whole thing into something. I've got all these variations of layers, like here. Look at that. That's so interesting. I would urge you to play with these embossing powders and layering them up. I know I keep using them over and over, but I think that is the clue as to how much I like them, right? I mean, I haven't been that way about a product for a long time, and these are really fun. I want to use one of my oil pencils and try to go around the actual flower part here. If I can figure out where this goes. I think I moved it. Okay, here it is. It goes right here. So we will see. I don't know if this is going to work or not. We'll see. I do love the oil pencil, and it's, you know, especially because when you go ahead and you put it down, it doesn't move then later on. So they're a little hard to find, the oil pencils, but I have some in my Amazon shop that I like, and this is a brand that I think I got when I was abroad that I haven't been able to find anywhere else. So you just got to look around for them. Yeah, that adds something. I think that punches it up a little bit for sure. I honestly can't wait to use this with some collage and maybe put some real tone-on-tone work in the background with one of these and then layer this up. I don't know. I hope this has inspired you to pull out your embossing powders and to maybe even get some of these Tim Glazes, these Tim Holtz Glazes. They are under the distress line. I have a ton of them because Tim is so sweet and he sends them to me because he knows I like them. And I just, the translucent layering that you can create with these is absolutely gorgeous. I was pretty stoked about this particular batch because of aged mahogany. That's one of my favorite colors of all time of the distress line, so that was pretty exciting. And then the other one I was excited about was crushed olive, which I didn't even end up using on here, but I think you've gotten some ideas of how much fun they can be. And you know, they'll work straight away on paper, they work on paint, they work on all sorts of surfaces. I've used them in my wall hanging work, I've used them on acrylics, on panel. They're just amazing. It's just one of these crossover products that I really love. So I hope you enjoyed watching me experiment a little bit with it today, and that you'll consider doing some of that on your own. Thank you for watching. I'm Mary Beth Shaw from StencilGirl Products, and this was Almost Live.